Welcome back to Lunar Beach Crypto. We ride the waves of the crypto market all the way to the moon. Thank you all for joining me. Today we're going to be going over, or in this video, we're going to be going over anchored VWAP. So last video we went over just your standard session VWAP. We've gone over market structure, we've gone over supply and demand, all that good jazz. Make sure if this is the first video you're seeing of mine, go back to the beginning, especially if you're a beginner in trading. Go back to the first video. Link will be pinned in the comment section down below. And so, yeah. So anyways, let's get into it. So the anchored VWAP, the reason why it's important is because markets don't forget about important levels just because we have a new day. And that's where the anchored VWAP comes into play. So it lets us define meaningful events, not just time. So whereas the session indicator is based on the session, right? It's anchored to the session. The weekly is anchored to the start of the week. The monthly, the yearly, so on and so forth. But with the anchored VWAP, we can actually pinpoint exact times where we want to see our volume weighted average price, if you will. So it's the same calculation as VWAP, but instead of resetting every session, it starts from a point that you choose. So that anchor might be a major swing high or low, a breakout, a reversal, or like a news event. So usually where you see a lot of participation, that's where I like to anchor a VWAP to. And so from that point forward, wherever you anchor it to, so if I anchor it to this low, from that point forward, it will start calculating that data. Personally, I like to place an anchored VWAP just at the 8:30 open, not 9:30, but the 8:30 open, because that's where futures open. So you tend to get a nice spike in volume. Also, anchor because the session VWAP starts on Asia. We can anchor to the 9:30 as well. And then you can see, man, that's just a straight line down. So if you watched the last video, you saw the break below the session VWAP, but you're also getting a break below the 9:30, the 8:30, like everything. And then you get this wick right here, right? Where you get high volume, and you can see you just absolutely just, I mean, the anchored VWAP just craters, right? So that helps you understand that, all right, the selling pressure is real, okay? So those are specific times. Now we can also let's go to the hourly, and we can find swing levels. Let me turn this off. There we go. And turn off our session VWAP. Kind of get rid of all the noise. And then there we go. All right, so major swing levels, highs and lows is where I also like to place. So my anchored VWAP. So this is a major swing low right here. So what I like to do is put an anchored VWAP right on that low. And there we go. So we can see, look where price reacted. You get a bounce here, you come down here, yep, you drop below it, but once price comes ripping right back up to the upside, it gets a nice move back above this high. And you can see once we take that high, we come right back down to it. So we're getting a lot of oscillation, and where price is just kind of reacting to that VWAP, because I mean, in this range, this is where we're seeing the most weighted volume for the market. You can see we lose that level here, and that is also where we got that big drop. So if we come back to the 3-minute on the lower time frame, we can see losing that VWAP from that major swing level was also an indication that we're probably going to see some downside. So the anchored VWAP is a powerful tool. You can put it on news events. Let's say you have like an FOMC. You can, at 2 p.m. Eastern, when the rate decision is published, you can anchor a VWAP right at that 2 p.m. and then start to watch price and see how it reacts to the 2 p.m. anchor VWAP. And then we can make decisions, trading decisions based off of that. And so, and the reason why that is so big is because you're able to see where the most participation of that time is. So you can do news events, you can do swing levels, all that good jazz. And the reason why it matters is because institutions like to anchor to events, and large positions are built up over time. So value is relative to where positioning began. So that's why this is so important. Now, if we go to Bitcoin's 126K peak, anchor our VWAP there, you can see it's been, the volume weighted average price is sitting well above us here. I'm actually still on replay. Let me go ahead and close that and see where we are currently. Okay, so you can see we're kind of, I mean, we're still trending to the downside, so we're still seeing a little bit of sell pressure. But sometimes this can act as a magnet. But you can see once we lost this level here, we retraced to it. I mean, here's one tap and you get a drop. Attempt to reclaim VWAP that then failed, then you just get continuation to the downside. So I know a lot of people in my community, they like to anchor VWAPs to swing highs, swing lows. They like to anchor VWAPs to year to date, not just from the start of the year, but year to date. So today's date is December 30th. They would anchor it to December 30th last year. It's kind of going to be the same as a year to date, so not really relevant from that standpoint. But, you know, you can just anchor it to different time periods. But, you know, with your regular VWAP, you can already anchor that to your weekly, your monthly, you know, your quarters. So you don't have to really use the anchor VWAP on those. So for me, it's just for the anchor VWAP, it's more about swing highs, swing lows, and news events. I think those, for me, are the best times to anchor a VWAP. So, because news-driven moves are particularly high volume, so you can really get a sense of the direction for the market if you place an anchored VWAP on a news event. So, so yeah, that's your anchor VWAP. Don't forget, you can, if it overlaps with like a supplier demand zone, that could be a good level. If it or a key structure level, you know, if you get some overlap with that, that's where you look for some reactions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So just try to avoid anchoring everywhere you can. Constantly moving your anchors. Avoid using it without market structure in mind. Like just don't just place it in random spots. That's not what it's for. That's why swing highs and swing lows are good points to put it at, because that's where you see increases in volume. This right here, this is the upper 10th class crash. That's definitely one, you know, I would want to anchor to. and see where we're at on that. And you can see it's still, price is still, or the anchored VWAP is still resting above us, indicating that, but it's still pointing to the downside. So we're still seeing a little bit of selling going on here, but yeah. So, so one of the important things to remember is price holding value, or is it rejecting it? Is price holding the VWAP, or is it rejecting? And that's with any VWAP. And so that helps give you some context to the potential moves. So, so yeah, that's going to be it for the anchored VWAP. In the next video, we'll talk about the amazing Fibonacci and how to use it for precision and confluence, not prediction. Because once you know direction, location, and value, precision becomes possible. So, if that's something you like, make sure you go to the next video. That's going to be it for this one. So, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to start at the beginning of this series of videos in the playlist if you are new to trading, so that you can get all the built up context for where we are now. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Mad love. God bless. Peace out. Bye.